I have known Shane longer than the people that hate Shane have known, or that love Shane have known Shane.
Yeah.
I've known Shane for an extremely long time. And Shane will say this or not, I don't know. I've been a big Shane fan before anyone was a Shane fan. And I've been a Shane supporter when it wasn't cool to be a Shane supporter. And I've taken him on the road with me. You can post pictures, Bert Kreischer, Shane. You're gonna see a lot of us, one of us at Red Rocks. I brought him out with me all the time. When I first did Fully Loaded, I was like, dude, you're one of my favorite guys in the world. I have to have you on this. And he was like, done.
Remember when I emailed you like, hey, could you?
Oh my God.
I mean, I didn't with them. I did hard with Bert Kreischer.
Whatever.
That'll be embarrassing.
Well, they fucking promise you shit. They're like,
well,
yo,
yeah,
man,
It was
hit
like,
me
hey,
up.
hit me up. I'll take you on the road. And then it's like I emailed him like 5 times to no avail.
That's fucking dick tease, dude.
Bert Kreischer made his first appearance on Bradley Martin's Raw Talk podcast and not only bragged about being the guy who knew Shane Gillis before anyone else, but he addressed the rumors of his falling out with Joe Rogan, the end of Sober October, and even the YouTubers who make the hate videos about him. It felt like Bert was trying to downplay the hate, probably because a large portion of Martin's audience doesn't really know who he is. It's a chance to pull some new fans, and he doesn't want them stumbling into the niche corner of YouTube dedicated solely to roasting him. One of the main reasons people dislike Bert is because he insults the intelligence of the audience, knowing a majority of the listeners won't notice. Because near the beginning of the podcast, Bert is talking about how he used the internet to get famous. Martin is like, didn't Rogan help you? And instead of just saying yes like he's admitted before, he tries to act like Joe doesn't launch people's careers.
I'll tell you what I enjoy about where we're at creatively as comedians is we're in charge of our own destiny, in that it used to be kingmakers, you know, that they like tastemakers that, you know, the people at Comedy Central will be like, okay, you can be famous now. I remember doing the first time I did Rogan. I remember getting in Red Band's car, leaving Rogan's house.
Rogan's kind of a tastemaker now, I'd say.
Yeah, but he's all over the map. Like he's not like he's not specific. He likes a lot of things.
Right. But at one point, I feel like it was largely comedian dominant, and he was putting a lot of comedians on.
Yeah, those were like when back in the day.
That unwillingness to just say, yeah, Rogan definitely helped me is why the haters hate. He just comes off like a podcast robot that's had too many drinks. And I just realized Bert is Human Bender from that episode of Futurama. Woo! Anyway, what made this interview interesting is that Martin didn't mind pressing Bert about the hate. Like making a point to say that Bert's name always comes up when people talk about the comedians Rogan made famous.
Yeah, but I'm really grateful for my experience with him because he changed my life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people say that about him in regards to you specifically. Have you had a falling out with him at all recently?
No.
The internet loves to talk.
Yeah.
They run crazy narratives about you. Do you know that?
No.
Do you look at the comments?
Oh, I don't look at comments.
I thought you said you were getting back into the comments.
I was gonna get back into the comments. I thought it was like it was unfair to the people that love me, that give me positive stuff.
Well, why
do
you think people have this sort of skewed perception of you, like a negative perception of you? I mean, I have tons of people think negative about me. I've been on the internet for so long.
Yeah,
but like the number one beef about you is that you only care about yourself.
Yeah, I probably do.
You think that's true?
Well, don't you care about yourself?
I totally care about myself.
There we go. All right. So stop reading those. Keep going.
You can tell Bert didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. The second Martin brings it up, Bert just tells him to keep going, like it's a bullet point on a list that he wants to get past. What's weird and a reason why the haters hate is how easily Bert lies about this stuff. Martin asked if he knows about the hate, and Bert instantly says no. Like, come on, he knows. He definitely watches YouTube. He never stopped reading the comments. And you can see the trolls have gotten to him, the way he shuts down and walls up when Martin presses him. Then Martin straight up asks Bert why he thinks people have a problem with him. And Bert doesn't really have an answer. And honestly, I believe him. He genuinely seems confused.
Why do you think people have beef with you?
I have no idea. I've never met anyone that's ever had beef with me.
No one in real life.
I've never met someone in real life that has beef with me.
That's never real.
I'm telling you right now, not once in my life has anyone said they didn't like me to my face.
Why do you think it's so? I mean, I think I know the answer to this, but it's so easy to just get on the internet and talk about anyone.
Yeah, of course. I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've done it too.
Kinda.
I'm sure you have.
I have, but
on accident. You don't even realize you're doing it.
I have, but in real, but from real life circumstance where people have done me dirty, where I'll say some in passing about it. But.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. I remember the first time I ever heard someone say that Joe didn't like me was a comment. I think it was a video. I might have addressed it. I think the number one mistake I probably ever made, if we're looking back at that, was addressing a video I saw on Two Bears, because Two Bears was so big that gave them a platform, and they realized at that point, they're like, oh, Bert may watch these and this may help my channel.
Yeah.
And so that was the mistake, I think.
I couldn't find that exact clip Bert was talking about, but apparently Rogan told a story on his podcast about someone getting blackout drunk at his house, didn't say who. Then a comedy channel guessed it was probably Bert, and instead of ignoring it, Bert brought it up on Two Bears One Cave. Bert thinks that was the moment everything shifted, like he believes the hate channels started multiplying just to bait him into responding again. The reason these videos exist isn't some master troll campaign. It's because people click on them. Clicks equal money. I actually think Bert's being honest when he says he doesn't understand where the beef comes from. I don't think it's that deep. It's just human nature. There's always a Meg in the group.
Shut up, Meg.
Before Bert, it was Shab who took the brunt of it. Nobody truly hates either of them. It's more like the Rogan sphere needed a punching bag, and Bert is the easiest target.
I mean, I remember there was a like I said, I have not been online. Like I had to change my algorithm on YouTube to a certain point, and I mean this with respect, but there's only a reason they're using me. They're not using me because it's me. They're using me because I'm so big.
Yeah.
So I do arenas.
Yeah.
So they're using me because it will get clicked. When I started showing up in my own feed, it fucked me up. I was like, yo, I can't see stuff about me.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to see stuff about my friends. So I had to change my algorithm on YouTube, because I used to enjoy YouTube. I don't watch YouTube at all anymore.
Bert says he doesn't know about the hate, then immediately starts acknowledging it. Says he doesn't watch YouTube, then talks about having to change his algorithm because his feed was full of hate videos about him. It's wild how little self-awareness he has. He still thinks people make these videos just because he's big. Like, no dude, there aren't channels dedicated to hating Louis C.K. or Bill Burr. But there are channels dedicated to Bert, because for real comedy fans, it's not just about Bert. It's about what Bert represents. The entire sad state of comedy.
I love drinking.
How often do you drink alcohol, though?
Every day.
Is this why the Sober October thing fell out? Because you just knew you were never going to actually stop drinking?
No, it didn't fall out. It was just like, the reason it fell out was that Sober October was always fun for us because we always joked and busted balls.
Yeah.
And then Ari drugged me, and no one talked that month. And so the next month we're like, yeah, let's not fuck it. And then I think Joe did it maybe by himself that year. He was like, I'll do it, because his fans want him to do it. And then one year I think me and Tom did it. No, we did it again. Me and Tom and Joe, we did 100 push-ups. But it's just kind of, one little thing like getting drugged kind of just put a stink on it a little bit. And we were all like, it wasn't as fun as it was.
Bert says Sober October didn't end because of his drinking, and I actually believe him. It probably just wasn't fun for Joe or Tom having to listen to Bert constantly make it about himself. And let's be honest, it's way more fun for Joe to have Shane on the pod.
Look at her eating soup, dude.
Oh, Jesus
Eating
Christ.
Progresso soup on a pilot.
What the man?
But of course, Bert can't help but bring up the other dead horse he's beaten to infamy, the time Ari dosed him, blaming him for ending Sober October. He's still writing that story like his drinking habit in the Machine story. Ari is one of the biggest instigators of the Bert hate. Lately, he's been trolling Bert harder than anyone, because on his last Two Bears appearance, he flat out told Bert that Sober October got canceled because Joe thinks Bert is insufferable.
I want to be Joe.
How do you get to be Joe, though?
Yeah, how are you going to be
Because Joe, what
Okay,
Joe
here's
does
my-
that you don't have the capacity to do is not
listen.
make it all about himself.
Hold on. Hold on. There's a clip. Dude, hold on.
That's a
Fuck you. You.
There's got to be a clip out there of you not
No.
interrupting.
No.
Fine. Look that up.
I'm not interrupting. I'm having a conversation.
Ari is a devious one. He knows exactly how to stoke the fire and feed the Bert hate. That Two Bears moment, he knew it would get clipped, memed, and dumped right into videos like this. It's his new way of repeatedly dosing Bert. Just little moments that live forever on YouTube and rent-free in Bert's head. Like when he went on the Ping Trip podcast and casually dropped that he actually never dosed him.
You didn't really spike Bert.
I did not.
You did not really spike
No, we
Bert?
made that up. I thought that's already out.
Wait a minute.
That's the problem.
That's not true.
No, we just like
This is some like Santa shit to me.
Because dude, I bought it.
Wait, it wasn't real?
You hung out and you're telling me how you spiked him. You lied to me.
Listen, buddy. Once I get a troll going, I lose myself.
That wasn't a confession, that was a troll. He most definitely dosed him. Not long after it got back to Bert, and you can see him age years in one clip.
Okay, we're on the roof of a place. Ari was with me, oddly enough. It was the week before he drugged me.
Did you see the whole thing about that too?
What?
Like that whole thing online about how that's a bit. It was made up. You never seen that?
No.
He said he lied. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't see it for real?
No.
It's like it's pretty like somebody goes, "Come on," and then he goes, "No, it's a whole bit we did." Like Ari tells that it's a whole bit.
Yeah. I don't really. He's a fun guy to have in your life, man.
You can see it on Bert's face when Tom tells him. His soul just folds in on itself. You realize in that moment, Ari has basically made it his mission to supply the internet with Bert hate content.
Isn't that nuts? It's literally a movie based on Bert. It really is.
Yeah.
Like they wrote a story about it for Rolling Stone magazine.
The original title was The Interruption.
It reminds me of me. Wait. You guys have such good Bert.
First off, that was the only Joe Rogan impression I've ever thought was funny. But here's what stood out more. Shane doesn't join in. Bert and Ari were two of the main guys to help Shane get on Rogan's radar, so I'm sure Shane is grateful. But Shane didn't need them. He got that SNL offer on his own, and after that he crushed it on the road for years. He didn't rely on Rogan to blow up. Bert did, and now Bert takes way more credit for Shane's rise than he should. Like offering him a slot on the Fully Loaded tour somehow means he's responsible for the whole arc.
I have known Shane longer than the people that hate Shane have known, or that love Shane have known Shane.
Yeah.
I've known Shane for an extremely long time, and Shane will say this, or not. I don't know. I've been a big Shane fan before anyone was a Shane fan, and I've been a Shane supporter when it wasn't cool to be a Shane supporter, and I've taken him on the road with me. You can post pictures, Bert Kreischer, Shane. You're gonna see a lot of us. One of us at Red Rocks. I brought him out with me all the time. When I first did Fully Loaded, I was like, dude, you're one of my favorite guys in the world. I have to have you on this. And he was like, done. So I love Shane.
This is exactly the kind of thing that makes the haters hate. He paints it like he brought Shane on the road when he was just getting started, like he gave him a shot before the world knew who he was. But that's not what happened. Bert didn't ask Shane to be on the Fully Loaded tour until years after the SNL thing blew up, and after Shane had already built his own momentum. Back when Shane was really grinding, even before the SNL ordeal, when he actually could have used some help, Bert ghosted him.
Remember when I emailed you like, "Hey, could you?"
Oh my god!
I mean, I didn't with them. I did hard with Bert Kreischer.
Whatever.
That'll be embarrassing.
Well, they fucking promise you shit. They're like,
Well,
yo,
yeah,
man,
It's
hit
like,
me
hey,
up.
hit me up. I'll take you on the road. And then it's like I emailed him like 5 times to no avail.
That's a dick tease, dude.
That's all I got.